I'm gonna say something here that is my truth. I'm gonna say it kindly. For us, it was being honest and getting feedback, but I think it's a game changer.
Because if you hold it in, it doesn't get better. It either festers and explodes, or you get depressed because you don't feel like you can express your truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. Today, for episode number 497, my goodness, 497.
497.
We are going to talk to you today about sending difficult messages. I have a story. Do you want to frame it first? I have a story that inspired me to talk about this.
Yeah, so I think you jump right into that.
So, as you guys know, Alan and I were once coached by the amazing Evan Carmichael.
Still are
technically.
Kinda,
technically. Yeah. But so recently when we were setting up our Instagram Live, his assistant Sandra messaged us and said, "Hey, this is going to have to be the last coaching session for a while. You know, Evan has these new things coming out that he has to take care of. We can look at 2021 and We'll be able to set this back up, hopefully." And Alan and I were like, well, interesting. What have we done here? What have we done to lose Evan's trust or whatever it may be? So we kind of let it sit. We let our emotions go away a little bit.
Yep.
And yesterday I sent him, albeit 8 video messages on Instagram. Okay.
15 seconds each.
15 seconds each. And my goal...
So you really jeffed it.
I'd really jeffed this. Yeah, this was brutal. It was brutal. But basically, I just said, "Hey, Evan, Alan and I just, number one, want to thank you for everything you've done. It's been a huge, tremendous help for us. Number two, we want to get any feedback. Is there anything we could have done better as mentees to keep this relationship going? Sandra mentioned that this is going to end for now. We know you have some other things going, but we didn't know if there was something behind the scenes that we had done that made you pull back from this." Now, full disclosure, we were supposed to have a mid-roll up for Evan on our YouTube channel that would say this, very similar to what you just heard at the beginning for Dave Meltzer, right? Our YouTube channel, Next Level University, is sponsored by our good friend and mentor, Evan Carmichael. We didn't do it. We jeffed it. We're just overwhelmed. And I said that. I said, "Hey, that's on me. I take full responsibility." Like, this was a hard message to send, right? This is somebody that we look up to. This is somebody that I very much look up to and is very much a dream coach for me. And he literally responded to me, "Dude, 8 videos? What's the TLDR?" TLDR means too long, didn't read. So, like, what's the short version of that? And then I was like, oh, no, oh my God, I've jeffed it twice. So then I just wrote out in text what it was. And he ended up messaging us back and saying, "It has nothing to do with the YouTube mid-roll. Like, that was never it. I just genuinely have a lot of things I have to finish up before the year is over. We can probably start it again in 2021. Perfect. Now, the point of this episode is not to tell you how cool we are because we're coached by Evan Carmichael. That's not what it is. But I was terrified to send that message. Like, that was a really hard video message for me to send, just staring at my phone like, oh my God, this is going to be brutal. It was very difficult to send. But it brought us closer to the truth. Like, we could have gone our whole life saying, like, Evan canned us as clients because
we didn't do the mid-roll.
We didn't do the mid-roll.
And you had said that you don't think he cares about that. Yeah. That's part of the reason why we didn't necessarily follow through right away is, yes, we were overwhelmed, but also we didn't think it was that important to him.
Yeah.
You didn't think it was that important to them.
And honestly,
and you were right.
I'm glad that he said that.
Yeah.
Because I needed to know that, because I didn't want him to think that we were jeffing him, just saying we were going to do it. Like, there's a lot going on. And again, that's an excuse. We could have done better. It could have been more of a priority.
Right.
But I wanted him to know that if that's the thing, I want you to know we take full ownership and responsibility, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
So right now, with Thanksgiving having just happened, family, COVID, a lot of change in a short amount of time, I've been in this phase for a while of truthful but kind. And we've done an episode on that. But I think that's what this is.
Yeah.
You and I have really come to a time in our life where we're not trying to avoid much. We're not trying to live outside of our own truth. I mean, we stumbled across someone's Facebook page that said something along the lines of the best Facebook group in the world for mindset. And I remember seeing that and getting frustrated because it's not true. It's just a blatant lie.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly not true. Tony Robbins has a mindset group, I'm sure. It's like...
So don't we?
Yeah, and we do too. But some people are willing to go outside of color outside the lines of their truth, and I think that that's a macro loss for a micro win, even if it's just in terms of integrity. And I think sending that message might have been painful in the moment, but I feel like you'll feel better about yourself.
I do, and the fact that even when I was writing it, Taryn was like, "Why are you going to mention the YouTube mid-roll if you don't think that's what it is?" And I said, "Because I want him to know that I'm thinking about it. I don't want to hide behind it. I don't want to hide. Like, that's the elephant in the room for all of us. I don't want to leave it there,
right?
And so the reason this is important, and I think it's very important for people in general, is because you might not be at the stage where you're comfortable having these difficult conversations in person yet. You might not have the ability to, right? Your family, or you could be in a long distance relationship, or in any relationship right now where you're not capable of seeing your partner as often as you once did. Sometimes this is a good training ground to start sending messages like, don't take the easy way out and do it that way, but I'm not going to see Evan Carmichael in person anytime soon. So for me, this is the way to do it. I think it's a good practice for you to get out of your comfort zone and say, look, I'm going to say something here that is my truth. I'm going to say it kindly. For us, it was being honest and getting feedback, but I think it's a game changer.
What do I want to say here? I think, so we were on the phone with Amy yesterday.
Shout out to Amy.
First of all, she said this: I want help standing up for myself. She said that to me. And that's always really been what I've helped her with is, I have that saying, the suppression of self-expression leads to depression. Well, it also can lead to explosion, because if you hold it in, it doesn't get better. It either festers and explodes, or you get depressed because you don't feel like you can express your truth. This is a rolling theme with all my clients, with all the team members. Human beings avoid tough conversations.
Yeah.
They just do. I'm guilty of that too, with conversations I've needed to have with my family. It's just human nature to avoid the pain. It's the pain avoidance tendency. And I think it's two things. Number one, you have to acknowledge that you are avoiding the truth. Number two, once you realize that you're avoiding telling this other person the truth, you have to understand that it's just fear. You're afraid to lose love. You're afraid they'll overreact. You're afraid to get ostracized from the group. You're afraid to lose your job. Whatever it is, there's a fear there. And then the third piece is actual aptitude. What I noticed when I help people in this arena, they actually don't know how to communicate their truth in an interesting way. So, for example, there was a message that I helped Amy send yesterday. You know what? I'll actually use a different story. There was a client of mine who was bothering my client with some inappropriate comments when she was in a bathing suit. Okay, and this person felt uncomfortable and was afraid to say something because this was a longtime family friend that they didn't want to break rapport with. And I think the fear was, this is a long-term family friend. I don't want to cause issues for me and my family. So you have two options. You either deal with the comments and keep suppressing your truth, and they're going to keep happening because this other person has no idea those comments are bothering you, probably. Or you have the courage to step up, take a risk, and stand up for yourself. The thing that I noticed in this circumstance isn't just... she didn't just not say her truth because she was afraid of the repercussions, but because I don't know if she knew how to say her truth. Yeah. I helped her with the message that she ended up sending. And in all honesty, I think communication is an art. And I think that so many of us don't know how to effectively communicate to other people, and that's why we hold back. So, for example, with Evan, how long did it take you to communicate your truth in a way that he would receive it? Like, how long did you prep for that message?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah. I'm way better, and this is what I learned about myself. I'm way better on audio and video than I am writing. I don't like writing. I'd rather just say it.
Right.
It's just easier for me to say.
That's why I had suggested you do an audio earlier
Yeah.
To a client. But I think a lot of other people don't actually have that as a skill.
Well, it's practice.
So
for me, I knew I was going to do it eventually.
Right.
I just had to get to over the chasm of like, all right, it's time for me to do this. I have time today. Let me just hammer this and get this done with. That was what it was for me.
But you also wanted to get to where your truth actually was, because when the emotions are high, you don't necessarily want to overreact.
And I wanted to get his truth. Honestly, for this, it was more about getting Evan's truth than it was for me.
Right.
I just wanted to get his truth because I knew he would tell me.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Like when you're sending a difficult message, the response you're going to get is based on the other person's ability to take feedback and then give effective communication back. That's a whole other thing.
And your desire to send the message is going to be predicated on your awareness of this other person. Yeah. So if you think this other person might overreact and scream at you, you're far less likely to send the message. And so that's a testament, that's a lesson for all of us of like, when you're one of those people that overreacts and gets mad at people whenever there's feedback or someone expressing to you, they're not going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You know, it's like those parents who you brought them the truth one time and you got punished horribly. That's the last time I'm telling you the truth, right? And I think that's an interesting analogy. This is a more in-depth episode, I think, than we expected for 5 Minute Clinic.
It is. And I got a call. I'm already over, but it is what it is. I just think my challenge and my intention was for you to ask yourself, like, am I waiting on sending a difficult message? If I can do it with Evan, right? If I can do it with Evan, that didn't start with me doing it with Evan. That started with me doing it with clients or with Taryn or with Matt or with Alan or people in my life, right? So start somewhere. You can even practice with people.
Right.
Like, again, what Alan said, I've helped people do that too.
Right.
When it comes to coaching, like sometimes coaching is just helping somebody express their truth.
Right.
Right. So ask your friends. Ask somebody has been in a significant relationship, like a relationship for a long time, like a married couple. Ask them how they communicate. Cool. That's awesome.
There goes that.
Well, we're gonna go anyway.
We got to go, but I'm gonna say one super fast thing. So, Amy has been in Next Level Nation, posting a lot, and she has asked the team to engage. And Amy had no problem telling me that I need to engage more, and I couldn't agree more. But she had trouble asking Tiff to engage more. On our call yesterday, I helped Amy craft the message. This is what I want for all of our listeners. It wasn't just the fact that Amy didn't want to lose love from Tiff or upset Tiff. It was the fact that she actually didn't know what to say. When I helped her craft the message, she had no problem sending it. That's a very common theme I've noticed with my clients and my coaching. If you are emotionally driven, and you're an E, you might know and feel frustrated, but you might not know why, and you certainly might not know how to communicate that effectively. And what's awesome is that it brought Tiff and Amy closer together. You know, it's going to bring the right people closer together when you send the difficult message. And if it filters out, maybe that's because it's supposed to.
Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are picking a winner today for 5 winners for the $50 giveaways. So you missed your chance to enter that. But we will.
I thought we were doing December 1st. This is December 1st.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good. But as always, we appreciate reviews. So just because you missed the opportunity to get money doesn't mean we will not appreciate you and love you. I'll love you $75 worth of love.
Of love.
Yeah, if you leave us a nice review. Because it helps us find more people and make more people next level instead of hyper-conscious, because that's what it used to be. Mm-hmm. And also masterminds every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
You dig?
I do.
Which one's tonight? Gina Swire?
Yeah.
Ooh, tonight we have one all about self-love with the one and only Gina Swire. Gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Gonna be fire. All right, we're gonna go. We hope you enjoyed. We don't have fans, we have family, and we will see you at the next level.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.